What is up, guys? You guys haven't seen me in a while. I look a lot different, don't I? Got a mustache going, hair's a little bit longer. I'm sorry I haven't, been uploading a whole lot. It's been a while. It's probably been over a month, I'd say. I can't really remember right now, but college has been really busy, and we're coming up on our final week of college, final week of classes, and then semester exams and stuff like that. Um, and happy Thanksgiving to you all, by the way. But today I wanted to do a collection update. I have, I don't know, about 20 cassette tapes and then probably 50 to 60 CDs, I'd say, to show you. Now, the reason I got these, so my family meets up every year on Thanksgiving, but my uncle my uncle is moving to another state, and he decided to give me a bunch of his music because he knows I love music. I will admit, majority of it I'm not keeping because a lot of it is like a lot of stuff I don't like. There's like Adam Lambert and like dance music and like Madonna and other stuff like that. Stuff that like he really likes. But he had some rock music and some other type of music that I really enjoy in this. So I'll show you everything that I'm keeping. CDs and cassette wise. He gave me like a bag of records also, but I didn't look through those. I just looked through like the CDs. I'd say in total there was about 700 CDs or something like that, and then cassette tapes there had to have been at least 150. And these are just the ones I'm keeping out of those, and then I'll look through the vinyl some other time. He's also giving me like a stereo system too, giant speakers, old school, really crazy. But I'll start off with the cassette tapes, and then I'll go into CDs. I'm starting off with the cassette tapes because there's a lot less of them than the CDs, so it'll be a lot easier. Make sure lighting is good. Yeah, perfect. Okay, first up, I'm gonna start off with a Grease 2 soundtrack. I'm not a big fan of the movie. The only notable thing about the movie, I guess, is that it was Michelle Pfeiffer's first movie. For those of you who haven't seen Grease 2, it has nothing to do with the original movie besides the fact that the main character, I forget his name, is Sandy's cousin from the original. That's about it. The movie itself is just kind of eh. But the soundtrack is pretty decent, though. So yeah, decided to keep this one. This one's pretty cool. Next up is Dirty Dancing and More Dirty Dancing soundtracks. Love Dirty Dancing and I love soundtracks. These are awesome. Definitely going to be keeping these, obviously. This one I was really surprised to find out, but Nine Inch Nails, um, Pretty Hate Machine. Now, very few albums I have of these, but now this is like I only have a few albums that I have on all three of the major physical media music platforms, which is CD, vinyl, and cassette tape. And I finally added this one, so I have this on CD and vinyl as well, and I have it on cassette tape. The only other ones I have that are like that are Van Halen 1984, and and another one I'll be talking about actually now that I think about it. So I'll get to that. But yeah, I have it on CD, vinyl, and cassette tape now, which is great. Ooh, my light almost fell. There we go. Sorry about that. I have like this like light right here that it's like a ring light. You put your phone in the middle, but I'm recording with my computer just because this works out better, and I can plug this because this thing is powered by USB. So I just plug it in my Chromebook that I have recording on here, and the lighting makes the camera less like slow, if you know what I mean. Like, see, camera's a lot slower now. Camera's a little bit faster now because of the lighting. Anywho, this is Heart. Excuse me. This is Heart, self-titled. I forget what year this is from, but I do really like Heart though. This is really awesome, and he's a huge Heart fan. My uncle is, so gotta love that. Next up is GNR Lies. I'm not a big fan of cassette tapes that have that are horizontal. I don't know why. This cassette tape case is broken. Damn it. But the most known song on this album is probably Patience, I'd say. Everybody likes Patience. But yeah, this cassette tape case is broken. I'll have to replace it. Anywho, so yeah, GNR Lies. Next up, I have Great White, Twice Shy. I have Once Bitten on CD, but now I got Twice Shy on cassette tape. Great White is a really good band. Started off as like a like fast like metal band kind of, and then they transitioned over to more of a blues hard rock, which is okay in my opinion. But I do like the first album the most out of all of them. But yeah, this album is really great as well though. A lot of those early albums from like the self-titled debut to like Hooked, I think that's like a really good era. But yeah, Great White, phenomenal. Next, I have two by the same band. I have New Jersey and Slippery When Wet by Bon Jovi. These are really the only two albums I really care for as like whole albums. But Slippery When Wet is probably their most famous. It's got Wanted Dead or Alive, You Give Love a Bad Name, and Living on a Prayer, three of their most popular songs. But yeah, this is a really good album. Love it. Um, I like how I got cassette tapes though, man, because cassette tapes are rare nowadays and they can get expensive. I go to some music stores and they're charging like 10, $15 for one cassette tape, so I got lucky, I guess you could say. And my uncle kept these in pretty decent condition too. Like, look at that. New Jersey's a good album too, though. Bad Medicine, Living in Sin, two of my favorites from that. But yeah, Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet, and New Jersey. And here's the other one I was talking about, the one that I have on CD, vinyl, and cassette tape now. It's Skid Row's self-titled first album. This is one of my all-time. This is one of my absolute all-time favorite albums. I freaking love this album so much. My favorite song, I mean, it's probably their most popular song, but I really love I Remember You. I think it's like a nice, like, softer, and then goes into, like, harder, like, hard rock song. And Sebastian Bach's vocals on the song are absolutely phenomenal, man. Especially whenever he hits that last, like, big, screeching high note. He's like the, I love you, yeah. Oh, my God. Like, every time I listen to that, I get chills. Like, I mean, like, just such like powerful singing. And of course, like all the other songs in this are great. I love Sweet Little Sister, Youth Gone Wild, Piece of Me is awesome. 18 in Life is another like softer, goes into more hard rock song. Rattlesnake Shake is a really great one. Just this whole album is really great. So yeah, I also have this on vinyl and CD, and now I have it on cassette tape as well. So I can add that and Pretty Hate Machine to my new list of albums. I have all three of those on. So yeah. Next up is George Michael's Faith. If I had to say, I mean, y'all know I'm mostly a rock and metal guy, but I do love like other genres of music, like pop, specifically from the 70s, 80s, and even the 90s, and hip hop from the 80s and 90s mostly, and 2000s. But my my two favorite artists outside of rock and metal are George Michael and Elton John. Elton John's my number one, and then George Michael is definitely my number two. I freaking adore George Michael. This song, this has Faith, the title track, obviously, which is great. I Want Your Sex Part 1 and 2, which I believe those were featured in, I think it was Beverly Hills Cop 3, and it got nominated for a Razzie for, like, worst song or something like that. Really goofy. But yeah, George Michael, phenomenal. Love George Michael. My camera's being a little jittery. I don't know why. Okay. I don't know why, but, anywho. Let's go on to this one. I got three by the same band, so let me try to find the third one. I just had it. I literally just had it. Come on. Oh, never mind. Oh, here it is. So I got three by the next one. I got Foreigner Records. I got Foreigner Head Games. And then I got Foreigner Inside Information. I already have Foreigner 4 on cassette tape, so now I have 4 Foreigner cassette tapes. Foreigner is a really good British-American band. I love them so much. Next up, I have The Outfield, Play Deep. This has the song Your Love on it, which is iconic. I love that song. And Say It Isn't So and Every Time You Cry are also really good songs. Really good band. Next up is Loverboy, Loving Every Minute of It. I already have Get Lucky. I forget the name of the album, Get Lucky, the one that's got Working for the Weekend on it. I got that on cassette tape, and I got Loving Every Minute of it. This has my favorite Loverboy song, which is the title track, Loving Every Minute of it. I think that song is really cool and really good. Next up, um, this is this is gonna seem really strange, but Tiffany, self-titled. The main reason I picked this is because I'm a huge fan of like everything Seth MacFarlane, Family Guy, Orville, American Dad, and Ted, both 1 and 2 in the TV series. But in Ted 1 and Ted 2, they make this very known that the song I Think We're Alone Now is the main antagonist, Donnie, I think was his name, played by the Giovanni something. I forget the actor's name, but who plays Donnie. That's his like favorite song. He's like air humping to the song constantly. Is I think we're alone now. Like, yeah, so that's the song that this album is on. And some of the other songs are pretty good too, but like that's the main reason I wanted to keep this, was because I'm such a huge Seth MacFarlane fan. And every time I hear I Think We're Alone Now, I think about him just like like thrusting his hips and shit. But yeah, this is a pretty good album though. Next up, I got Lita by Lita Ford, one of my favorite female guitar players. Um, this case has like rust on it or something. The cassette tape is in. You know what? Okay, look at this case, guys. Like, you see how it's got like yellow stuff on it, whatever. But the cassette tape itself is fine. Like, I don't know how that happens. I could easily just replace the case, though. It's fine. No, but this album is pretty good. Probably the most well-known song is "Close My Eyes Forever." That's the duet she did with Ozzy Osbourne, which is the final track on the song. "Kiss Me Deadly" is a decent song too. It's not a bad album. It's not like super great, but it's pretty decent though. I have 3, 5, 6. I have 8 more cassette tapes left. Yeah. So I'll go through this one first. I got Billy Idol, Vital Idol. Whenever I saw Billy Idol's name, whenever I saw this, I was like, please tell me it's Rebel Yell. But I'm like, okay, it's Vital Idol. That's still pretty good too, though. But yeah, I love Billy Idol though. I really want to get Rebel Yell on cassette tape. It's one of my all-time favorite albums. Is Rebel Yell. I love Billy Idol, Rebel Yell. Next up, I got Milli Vanilli and Girl You Know It's True. Now, I mean, that's not Milli Vanilli. If you guys catch my drift, I mean, these guys did not do any of the actual singing. Obviously, that's like one of the most notorious scandals in music history. Is that Rob Pilatus and Rob, what's his name? Rob something like Rob Pilatus, and then the other dude. I forget their names. I'm sorry, but they pretty much, the story is, for those of you who don't know, I'm pretty sure majority of you know, but the majority of you who don't know, these two right here, they were the duo Milli Vanilli, who are most known for this album. But they did a performance. They even won a Grammy for like best new artist or something like that. But they did a performance, and turns out they had a backtrack and it started skipping, which was already bad enough. But then people found out that these two weren't even the ones who did any of the singing. It was 2 other guys completely. Like, and I don't know, it was just crazy. But nonetheless, the music is still pretty good. This album is still pretty good, and Girl You Know It's True. So got that. Next up is the very best, or the best of, Culture Club. I like Culture Club a decent amount, mostly because of Karma Chameleon. I'll Tremble For You is a pretty good song too, but mostly Karma Chameleon. Next up, I got Edge of the Century by Styx. Excuse me. Pretty decent band. I'm not the biggest fan, but they're pretty decent. I like a few of their albums. REO Speedwagon, High Fidelity. Oh, you know what? This is a freaking another one. I have this now on CD, vinyl, and cassette tape now, because I'll just spoil it ahead. I have this on CD in the bag that I got from the ones I was picking out that my uncle gave me. So yeah, this is another one I have on vinyl, cassette tape, and CD. So that's great. Honestly, I love that. Phenomenal album though. My favorite song, "Keep on Loving You," is great. "Take It on the Run." which, funnily enough, I almost put on my playlist for my sister's wedding 2 years ago. Whenever I DJ'd for her wedding, I put it on there at first, but I was just listening to it because I was like, yeah, I love this song. But then I was listening to the lyrics, I'm like, oh, this song is about like cheating. Okay, so I took that off and I just kept "Keep on Loving You" and "Can't Fight This Feeling" on there, and I was like, good thing I didn't keep that on there. Next up is Boston Third Stage. I've actually never listened to this album, but I've listened to Boston and then the album that came after it. Like I've listened to the self-titled and then I listened to the one that came after it, but I've never listened to this one. I have listened to Amanda before, but I've never listened to the other songs, so I'll have to check them out. Yeah, Boston Third Stage. Def Leppard, Hysteria. My uncle actually had two copies in there for some reason, like right next to each other. So I just took one, and some people don't like Hysteria, some people do. I'm kind of in between. I think Pour Some Sugar on Me is really overplayed. It's not horrible, but it's really freaking overplayed. But the title track is not too bad. Shotgun and Run Riot are pretty good. Overall, it's not bad. It's not bad, but it's also not like amazing. It's just overplayed. I prefer the first three albums over this. And lastly, for the cassette tapes, I got David Lee Roth, Eat 'Em and Smile. Not a very big David Lee Roth fan, even when it comes to Van Halen. My favorite, even though like two of my favorite albums are the David Lee Roth era, they're not my favorite because of him. I honestly think he's kind of a mediocre singer, and I do like this album though. Again, not because of David Lee Roth himself necessarily, but Steve Vai plays on this record, and I love Steve Vai a whole lot. But yeah, Yankee Rose is a good song though. So that was all the cassette tapes, and I'm gonna have to find somewhere for these to go. Oh, this took 17 minutes almost for me to talk about these cassette tapes. Yeah, and the CDs. This is gonna be a long video, guys. I apologize in advance, but it'll be a treat, hopefully. Yeah, I really have a lot of cassette tapes. Well, okay. I'm sorry about this pause, guys. Just give me 1 second. There we go. Okay. Now let's move on to the CDs. Okay. First up, we've got two of these are by the Cranberries. I got the Cranberries. Everybody else is doing it, so why can't we? This is a pretty good album. The songs that obviously are probably standouts are "Dreams" and "Linger." Other songs, "Put Me Down." The closing track is pretty good, and "I Still Do." The opening track is also really good too. So yeah, this is a pretty good album. Next up is also by the Cranberries, which is "No Need to Argue." Probably their most popular album and has their most popular song, aka "Zombie," which is a phenomenal song. I love the Cranberries; they're really good. And losing Sinead O'Connor was a really big loss to the music world, in my opinion. And yeah, no, I remember whenever I heard about that, that really hurt because she was supposed to do guest vocals on the Bad Wolves cover that they did, and so after that happened, they donated like all the money that that song made or something like that to her children, which is crazy. It's their most popular song, and they donated like pretty much all the money to her children. But yeah, Dolores O'Riordan, really really good. This whole album is really good. Both these albums I showed are really good. So yeah, No Need to Argue and Everybody Else is Doing It, so why can't we? I get that title tongue twisted sometimes. But yeah, two really good albums by the Cranberries. Next up, I have Ace of Base, The Sign. He had like three other Ace of Base albums or something like that, but I literally only picked this one up for the song The Sign. That's about it. So yeah, nothing much else to say about that though. Next up is Warrant Cherry Pie. The song Cherry Pie is really stupid, but I love the guitar riff and the guitar solo in that song. Uncle Tom's Cabin is a really good song too. This whole album is actually pretty decent in my opinion. Oh, this is a fun one. I, and again, this is another album I'm keeping just because of one song only, really. I might listen to the rest of the songs on these albums that I say that I only got for one song because, might as well. But this is Meredith Brooks, Blurring the Edges, and the only reason I got this album is because of the song Bitch. I'm a bitch, I'm a lover. Like, that's a catchy song, but I might listen to the other ones, like Wash My Hands, I might check out or something like that. I'm doing a video, Mom. Sorry about that, guys. Yep. You got it, Mom. You got it, Mom. Doing a video. I'm doing a video. I'll get it here in a second. Sorry about that, guys. Mom, she wants her soda. But she said I can do this video, so it's fine. I wish I had editing software, but I don't. Anywho, sorry about that, guys. Let's get back to the video. I got several by this band, but I can't find them immediately, so I'll just show more of them as they come along. But this is Exciter by Depeche Mode. I love Depeche Mode. My favorite song on this is easily Comatose. I love that song. But Dream On, which is not a cover, is on here. Love Theme is really good. So yeah, Depeche Mode is a really good band. Next up, I have Bad Out of Hell and Bad Out of Hell 2 by Meatloaf. Two really good albums. I already have this. Like, I bought it at Walmart for a remaster, but I think I might as well get rid of that one, just kind of match this one right here. So I have like the original CDs. But yeah, this one is one of the most best-selling albums of all time. I think it's sold close to like 50 million records, this album. But of course, like, it's got the title track Bad Out of Hell. It's got 2 Out of 3 Ain't Right, and Paradise by the Dashboard Light. And then this one is definitely most well known for I'll Do Anything for Love, But I Won't Do That, which is probably his most popular song, I'd say. It was the only Grammy he ever won was for that song. But yeah, also these album covers are really wicked too. And these album covers are nothing like the music really. Like, these are like rock opera albums, and they have like the motorcycle and like the fire and like the bats and everything. Like, yeah. But these are two really good albums though. So definitely good finds. Next up is the soundtrack to Pretty Woman, the 1990 movie with Richard Gere and Julia Roberts. Julia Roberts looks so freaking hot, bro. And I think she still looks beautiful in my opinion. But there's some good artists on this. David Bowie I really love. Go West, King of Wishful Thinking. That's a really good song I like. Yeah, so there's a lot of, and there's like Oh Pretty Woman by Ray Orbison. So yeah, definitely a good soundtrack. And again, Julia Roberts, so hot. Another soundtrack, Grease soundtrack. I love the Grease soundtrack. I love the movie. I love the musical. I was in the musical actually my freshman year of college. I mostly did like ensemble stuff, but I did have a decently major role in one scene. I was Johnny Casino in the high school bop scene. So I got my own song. I did Born to Handjob. I was like front of the stage, and I got my own solo and everything, which was fun. But yeah, the soundtrack is phenomenal. And I like the two original songs too. You're the One That I Want, and Hopelessly Devoted to You. But I think they all do a great job. I think they did a great job of covering the songs and putting them to the movie. So yeah, really good soundtrack. Love this. And Olivia Newton-John, rest in peace. She was so beautiful. And I like John Travolta as well. Next up, I got Wham! Make It Big. This is definitely most known for Wake Me Up Before You Go Go. And then Careless Whisper is on here. That's the funny thing is that, Careless Whisper, they always assume that with like George Michael, but it's actually a Wham song people forget about. It wasn't like George Michael's solo, but nonetheless, it's a great song nonetheless. And yeah, so this is a really good album. Next up is Journey's Greatest Hits. I'm a huge Journey fan, and I would like to get like their albums, like a lot of their specific albums on CD, but I got this. Don't Stop Believin' is a pretty good song, but it's just slightly overplayed. Faithfully is a really good song. Any Way You Want It's really good. Separate Ways, Worlds Apart is really great too. Open Arms is a nice softer song. And then my favorite Journey song is the last song on here, which is Be Good to Yourself from Raised on Radio. Which, fun fact about that album, Raised on Radio by Journey, Randy Jackson, yes, that Randy Jackson played bass on it. There was like two or three tracks he didn't play bass on, but he played bass on majority of that album, and he toured with them. I remember I found that out in high school from my life skills, from my life studies teacher, because me and him shared like the same music tastes, and I thought that was really cool actually. So yeah, Journey's greatest hits. Next up, I got the Batman Forever soundtrack. The movie itself is not bad. It's just kind of, it's a little wonky, especially Jim Carrey as the Riddler. But like you got who was all on here? You got U2, PJ Harvey, Brandy, Seal, um, Offspring, Method Man. But my favorite song on here is definitely "Kiss from a Rose" by Seal. Me and my friend slash coworker Phil, we like to laugh because the music video for "Kiss from a Rose" by Seal, like it has like it cuts from Batman like kicking criminal and gangster ass, and then it cuts back to Seal with like his shirt unbuttoned and you can like see his abs, to him just like singing his heart out with like his eyes closed, and me and him laugh at it because we think it's so cheesy but so good. But yeah, this is a pretty dang good soundtrack, and the movie itself ain't too bad either. I was really surprised to see this in my uncle's collection, but it's the soundtrack to Evita, which I have seen and is a pretty good movie. But I love my favorite song on here is "Oh What a Circus," and I was like, and you know, I had watched the movie, and then but then man, I did not know Antonio Banderas could sing. He's like, "Oh my, what a circus," but I was like, dang, he can actually sing though. Like it was good, man. But no, yeah, Evita's a good movie. Um, Soundtrack is good. 17. Oh wait, no, there's more on this. It's a double disc, and there's 14 plus 17. My math really sucks. That's like 31, 32 songs or something like that. But yeah, I was so really surprised to see this in his collection. So yeah, that's definitely a keep. Next up, I have REM, Automatic for the People. This is probably best known for Everybody Hurts, but also Man on the Moon's on here. I like REM like majority of their albums. I'd say from when did this come out? Because I don't want to get this wrong. So this came out in 1992. Okay, so I'd say from like their early stuff up until like this album is like my favorite. Um, Especially like Out of Time. So I'd say like the first like yeah, I'd say like the first like 8 albums are probably my favorites, and then after that's just kind of not the biggest fan. Next up is Billy Joel Glass Houses. This is a later Billy Joel one, I think. Yeah, this came out. Okay, no, this is in 1980, so this is before. This is before Innocent Man and stuff like that, but it's a little cracked. I got to replace it. But I love Billy Joel. Probably my third favorite artist outside of rock or metal. So yeah, really good. Uh, Rick Astley, greatest hits. Obviously, he's probably best known for. Well, not probably. He is best known for "Never Gonna Give You Up." He's got other great songs too, though, guys. "She Wants to Dance with Me." "It Would Take a Strong, Strong Man." Like this, he's got some other good stuff. Like check out more than just "Never Gonna Give You Up," guys. I promise you. Like you won't regret it. Next up, I have "Tears for Fears." Tears rolled down the greatest hits from 82 to 92. Obviously, this band is best known for "Everybody Wants to Rule the World." Who can blame them? That song's epic. "Shout" and Head Over Heels are also really good songs. All the songs in here are great. You guys want to take a look at them right there. Check out all those. They're great. Next up, this is another album where I only got it for one song. I kept it, but it's James Blunt, Back to Bedlam. Obviously, he's best known for the song "You're Beautiful," which I like, and I can do a perfect impression of. Maybe one day I might do that. But I might check out the other songs on here too. So yeah. Next up, I have a couple by the same artist. Actually, I have three, I think. Yeah, that's my brother, guys. If you guys hear that.
How's Dad's Thanksgiving?
But anywho, I got 3 from the same artist. I'm gonna try to find the other one. Where are you at? Aha, there it is. Okay, so I got 3 from the same artist. I got NSYNC's self-titled debut album, No Strings Attached, my favorite, and Celebrity. I like NSYNC. I'm not a big fan of boy bands usually, but NSYNC is like probably my favorite besides like Big Time Rush. The first album is pretty decent. Look at Justin Timberlake. He was like 15, 16 years old or something like that. But yeah, I love NSYNC. And like I said, No Strings Attached is definitely my favorite. It's Gonna Be Me and Bye Bye Bye. Like, I just love those songs so much. I love this album. But yeah, I love all these. If you don't like NSYNC, definitely give them a chance. Anywho, next up, I have so much CDs in here. This is gonna be a long video. Next up, I have Lee Greenwood, God Bless the USA. Lee Greenwood is known for the song God Bless the USA. But there's some other ones on here, like Hearts Aren't Made to Break, They're Made to Love. Might check out the other songs on here. But yeah, God Bless the USA is a good song. Bon Jovi, Crossroads. This is a greatest hits. My favorite Bon Jovi song is Runaway, which is the final song on here, so that's great. Love Bon Jovi. This is called the Hard Rockin' 80s. This has got You Gotta Fight for Your Right to Party by Beastie Boys. It's got Tommy Touchin, Alice Cooper, Ted Nugent, Lingo Tango, Cherokee by Europe. So it's got some decent stuff on here. It's just like a little compilation. The Beatles, Help. This is best known for the song Help. One song I also like is Ticket to Ride's a really good one. I like the Beatles quite a bit. Beach Boys, The Greatest Hits. And my favorite song on here is also the final song on here, which is Kokomo. I love Kokomo. Aruba, Jamaica, ooh, I wanna take ya. Bermuda, Bahama, call the pretty mama. Key Largo, Fontego. I love that. Change of Season by Daryl Hall and John Oates, or as they're most commonly known as Hall and Oates. Actually, they prefer to be called Daryl Hall and John Oates, though. But who knows? They don't like each other now. They tried suing each other. But this is a really good album, though. Starting All Over Again is one of my favorites, and so is I Ain't Gonna Take It This Time. So yeah, it's a really good album. Surprised my uncle didn't have any more Hall and Oates because I love Hall and Oates. The only CD I have by them is their greatest hits, and I want to get all their like albums, like especially from like the mid to late 70s up through like the late 80s. Those are like my favorites. Next up, give me 1 second, guys. Okay. The best of ABBA. I love ABBA. This has got my favorite song on here, which is Fernando. I love that song. There's also Chiquita and Dancing Queen, Mamma Mia, I Do, I Do, I Do, I Do, I Do. You know, pretty much a lot of the classics. There's no Give Me a Man After Midnight or Super Troopers, though. Freaking. Van Halen live right here, right now. Definitely gonna check this out because I don't think I've ever. Yeah, I've never listened to this before. So yeah, it's like one of these like dual cases right here. So yeah, that's gonna be cool to check out. Next up, I got Boys to Men #2. This album is probably best known. Also has their most popular song, which is I'll Make Love to You, which I love that song. I'll make love to you like you want me to, and I'll hold you tight, baby, all through the night. I love that song. I'm gonna sing that to my future wife at my wedding if I ever get married. But yeah, no, this album's pretty good though. And then I got Ladies and Gentlemen, the best of George Michael. This is another dual like case thing like this. This has got a lot of my favorite songs that he ever did. My favorite on here is probably his live duet with Elton John, which is "Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me." Phenomenal. There's a lot of good songs on here. Freedom, 90, Careless Whisper, obviously. So yeah, there's a lot of good songs on here. And again, I'm so grateful to get all these, man. Next up, I have... Again, I also had a copy of this, but I'm going to get rid of it just to match this. But I got Guns N' Roses Use Your Illusion 2, which is the one I have. Then I got Use Your Illusion 1. Use Your Illusion 1 is probably... Well, it's not... I keep saying probably best known, but no, it is best known for November Rain, which is like one of their most popular songs. Other good songs on here are the opening track Right Next Door to Hell is really good. Buster Bones and Don't Cry original. And then number 2 was probably... Again, I keep saying probably best known, but it's definitely best known for Knocking on Heaven's Door, which is a cover. Another good one is Shotgun Blues and You Could Be Mine. And then there's Don't Cry, the alternative lyrics. So there's two. You get the original version on here, and then you get the alternative lyrics on this. So yeah, there's that. Oh, there was another cassette tape in here. I guess I'll show it. But Chicago Greatest Hits is the other cassette tape in here. Chicago's a pretty good band. I don't know how I didn't see that, but I didn't somehow. Let me see if I can find all the words for this band right here. Come on. Yeah, here we go. How many do I got? I think I got 4. Yeah, I got 4 by this band. So I got The Cure, Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me, which has my favorite The Cure song and one of their most popular songs, which is Just Like Heaven. I love that song. Next up I have 17 Seconds, another really good album. And then we have my second favorite album, which has my second favorite song. We have Wish, and my favorite song on here, and my second favorite song by The Cure is Friday I'm in Love. Such a good song. I love that song. And then I have Wild Mood Swings by The Cure as well. Yeah, The Cure is a really good band. Robert Smith is like one of my favorite vocalists. Next up I have The Smiths Singles. The Smiths is a pretty good band. I haven't gotten too much into them, but this might help me get into them a little bit more. Next up I have Blondie, the Platinum Collection. There's 26 plus 21, so there's 47 songs across 2 discs on here, so that's a lot of music. Again, another band I was never like too big into, but I kept it because, you know, trying to see if I like, you know, more songs than just like, you know, Call Me or something like that, you know. Then I got, this is gonna be a strange one to you, but I got The Fame by Lady Gaga. I am a closeted Lady Gaga fan. And, yeah, this is the album that's got Poker Face on it. So yeah, I do like Lady Gaga quite a bit. This is early. This is like, was this her first album? It's 2008. I think this was her first album. I could be wrong, though. Next up I got, Warrant, Dirty, Rotten, Filthy, Stinkin' Rich. So I have this along with Cherry Pie now. So yeah, this album is definitely best known for Heaven Isn't Too... Heaven. I almost said Heaven Isn't Too Far Away, but it's just called Heaven. But the lyrics are Heaven Isn't Too Far Away. Next up, I have the Backstreet Boys. Backstreet Boys self-titled. Right here, this has got Everybody, Backstreet's Back, the extended version. Probably their second most well-known song. Surprised Millennium wasn't on here, or my uncle didn't have Millennium, because that's the one that's got I Want It That Way. But yeah, I really like Backstreet Boys. Probably my third favorite boy band. This is Depeche Mode Ultra. Here's the other Depeche Mode, and I think I have more. But yeah, like I said, Depeche Mode, really good band. Simple Minds, Glittering Prize. This has got Don't You Forget About Me, which is from The Breakfast Club, and All the Things She Said, which is also really good. Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill. Fun fact, they did a musical adaptation of this. It's not very well known, but they did do a musical adaptation of this. But yeah, this is a pretty good album from the 90s. And then I got No Doubt, Tragic Kingdom. I have Rocksteady, so now I have Tragic Kingdom, which is great. And this is the last bit of my CDs. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 CDs left, so let's go through them. This is Styx Greatest Hits. Nirvana's Nevermind. Ooh, probably censor that right there. Don't want to get demonetized. I'm just kidding. I'm not monetized at all. So, you know, at this point, like, screw it. But yeah, this is a really good album. Nirvana's Nevermind. REO Speedwagon, The Hits. It's got all their greatest hits. And here's High Fidelity. So I have this on cassette tape, vinyl, and CD now. So another one added to my collection. And then I have Billy Idol, Vital Idol, right here. So I just needed a vinyl to complete that cassette, vinyl, and CD thing that I have going on. And then I think there's like 4 Depeche Mode albums I have. So here's the next 2. Here's People Are People. And then Catching Up with Depeche Mode. Oh, you know what? Never mind. People Are People, guess what? Doesn't have a disc in it, so never mind. You know what? That really blows. Damn it. And then the last two ones I have Prince. I have the Hits and the Hits 2. My favorite song is Little Red Corvette, which is on 2. I love Little Red Corvette. Sexy MF is a really good song too. Purple Rain. I Want to Be Your Lover. When Doves Cry. I love Prince. Such a good musician. But yeah, that's my collection update for y'all. I'll do one on the vinyls as soon as I can. But again, happy Thanksgiving to y'all. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that like button. Leave a like. Comment if you'd like. Subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.